Get the fuck out of the way.
Welcome to Kit Field. We have a little preamble here. We have a goose delay. Colorado women's lacrosse takes on Boston College in just a moment, but first we have some geese that have made their way onto Kit. Some players chasing them off. Someone roll the ball at them. And looks like well, it's not really a delay. We still have about a couple more minutes before we kick things off here. But a goose delay, all in a day's work for Colorado Club Lacrosse. I'm Harrison Simeon alongside Paxton Haynes, who you'll hear in just a moment. And we'll be right back as the geese have been removed from the premises here in Boulder.
Good morning, Bus fans, and welcome to Kittredge Field, home of Colorado Buffaloes Women's Club Lacrosse. We got a good one here this morning in the Mile High Tournament, finishing things off on this Sunday. It's the Colorado Buffaloes and the very good fourth-ranked Boston College Eagles. We got the opening face-off underway, just about to go. The Buffaloes in white, the Eagles in red, with some early morning lax here in Boulder. Just to get things going, I'm Paxton with Harrison, bringing you some early morning lacrosse. How you feeling, Harrison?
I'm feeling pretty good, Pax. It's real early. It's probably the earliest game that we've ever covered here for ScoBuff Sports. But it's a nice morning. It was really cold yesterday. Weather's kind of starting to warm up, and it's beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Not too many clouds in sight.
We're going to get things underway here. Looks like it's going to be Sophia Pitcher taking the opening draw for your Buffaloes. The Buffaloes coming off a couple of nice wins yesterday for some Saturday lacrosse action, taking down the fifth-ranked Michigan Wolverines and then the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. As we got morning lacrosse here in Boulder, Buffaloes and Eagles, opening draw. And here we go. It is won by the Eagles. Quick stoppage immediately, and we're going to get things going. Boston College ball. Here they come, Livingston with the ball. Coming towards the center of the field. Looking for someone. She'll hang with it as the Eagles set up in the offensive zone. Getting things going. Down below the net, it's Duttenhofer. Duttenhofer throws it down. Ball is lost for a second shot, and a save made. An early test there for the Buffaloes goaltender. The Buffaloes now with the ball. Loose on the turf. Picked up by Colorado. Picked right back up by Boston College. And they'll look to set things back up once again. Donovan with the ball for the Eagles. She'll toss it over to Chase. Chase throws it down. Coming around the center, it's Duttenhofer. Dishes it over. Back over, it's Ash now. Ash throws it down. Looking for a shot, can't find anything. Good defense so far from the Buffaloes. Now shot on net, and a save made. Nice one there.
Yeah, solid save. Buffaloes will have to fight a mental battle today. That's what I'm looking for. It's easy to suffer an emotional letdown when you play a game like they did yesterday against the Fighting Irish. Thriller. Overtime winner, 13-12. And these Boston College Eagles, very, very good. Number 4 in the country. And quickly,
as they score right away. Boston College strikes first.
Yeah.
It is 1-0 Eagles.
Yeah, those turnovers are going to have to be avoided. This Boston College team doesn't make too many mistakes, so for the Buffaloes to remain in it, they're going to need to quell those self-inflicted, avoid stepping on their toes, and the Eagles quickly strike first.
It's Megan Chase scoring the goal for the Eagles. The ball yet to cross the opposing side of midfield, aside from those very first seconds off the opening draw. So still very early, less than 2 minutes into this game, but right now, all Eagles. See if the Buffaloes can respond here. They can't fall behind here, Harrison, against this very, very good Boston College team.
Yeah, this is one of the best teams. I mean, the Buffaloes not too far off being ranked as they win the draw control. That's going to be big for this game. Received votes to be ranked, but are not currently. Maybe after this weekend, if they put up a solid fight, they will find their way into the rankings.
It's Diamond now. She lost the ball.
Yeah, just another turnover there. I mean, the sun's pretty shining right at our faces right now. Maybe that might play a role, as she might have just lost it there. Just threw her stick up but couldn't catch it.
Yeah, you and I are staring right into that sun all day. As here come the Eagles now. McGuire with the ball. She'll come right down Main Street and throws it over the net. She got sent to the turf. Stoppage here. We might get a penalty called.
Yeah, the full head of steam there from McGuire. Eagles really trying to capitalize on transition opportunities.
It'll be Megan Chase, the goal scorer, with the ball below the net. Still Eagles ball. Taking their time, throwing it around. Ash now with the ball. Tossed it over to McGuire. McGuire over to Donovan. Donovan looking for someone. Finds her. Back down below the net. Eagles, now they get going. Making some cuts in front of the net. Looking to get in front. Good defense there by the Buffaloes to stop a shot. Back down below the net now. Duttenhofer. Duttenhofer surveying, looking for maybe a question mark. She'll throw it on net, and another save made. With the foot. Eagles pick it back up. Still applying pressure. Down in front of the net, and the pass is intercepted. Another great sequence by the Buffaloes goaltender.
Yeah, we don't have the name. We have two of their goaltenders in Grace Morgan and Uyen Than, but we don't have a 52 in the roster. But whoever that is, whether it's a jersey change or one of the reserves, doing a solid job so far, and look out.
Abby Luce got sent to the ground.
Yeah,
Grabbed her knee. Hope she's all right. Went down a little awkwardly.
Yeah, it went down hard. Looks like they're going to bring the coaching staff out here.
We'll bring a trainer out as all the players on Kittredge Field will take a knee as we check to Abby loose. Abby Luce, the great Buffaloes midfielder, getting helped off the field there. Really tough to see here so early into this game. We hope she's all right.
Yeah, Luce's sophomore, not putting any weight on that right leg. Looked to be in severe pain. Can only hope for the best.
Always interesting to see how a team responds after an injury like that. We'll see if the Buffaloes can get things going. Maybe lights a fire under them. See one of their great players get taken down so early into this one. It was a bit of a weird play. Kind of looked a little inconsequential, but then
Yeah, maybe non-contact. You know, we've had plenty of conversations about turf, and you know, with Folsom Field being replaced with turf next year, and obviously Kit Field the same. You have to wonder just about the freshness of the surface today, just because that was really non-contact. Maybe had to slow up a little bit with the defender oncoming, but tough play to see there.
yeah, absolutely. We hope Abby's all right. As the Eagles now getting things going back again. Still applying pressure in the offensive zone. It's 1-0 here. Eagles to start this game. Looking in front of the net, shot and a save made again. Another offensive chance, and that's another save. It'll go out of bounds. The Eagles closest to the ball. Sarah Duttenhofer will start things back up right away. Down to Chase. Chase looking for someone. Below the net, that pass doesn't connect, and it's a turnover for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what the Buffs are going to be hoping for. I mean, the Eagles have had, at least 90% of the possession about right now. So, to force, not necessarily force turnovers, but just to see turnovers happen as ball stays with Colorado here. You'll hope that Boston College start to beat themselves, and looks like that is Emma Ash again, like right in around that same spot. Up a little slow.
Yeah, running out the field a little gingerly. Early morning lacrosse, you know, body's maybe a little cold. As it'll be Ava Diamond with the ball for the Buffaloes. Emma Ash will jog out the field. Nice to see her get off on her own power just fine.
Yeah,
Diamond now coming up the right side, cutting towards the middle. A lot of bodies there. She'll dish it down. Here come the Buffaloes. Their first offensive possession of the game. That pass can't connect. Minozy picks up the ball. Looking for someone. She'll throw it over.
Yeah, you have to wonder when they're starting to make passes to our near side here. The sun's going to be right in the person that's catching its eyes, and it's not going anywhere. So you're going to have to be careful with those.
Diamond above that shot, scores! Ava Diamond with a beautiful question mark shot gets the Buffaloes on the board here in this first quarter. It's a tie game, 1-1.
Yeah, really nice job catching the Eagles a bit flat-footed. A nice response after it looked like the Eagles were going to be dominant in this game, but capitalize off the turnover on the other end and even this game up.
That's how the Buffaloes offense likes to do it. They wait for their opportunity. And this Buffaloes offense, quite good. When they have the chance, they make use of it. So 1-1 between the Eagles and the Buffaloes.
And we do have confirmation that in net for the Buffs today is Sophie O'Brien. We do have the confirmation on that. So she's done a solid job, I will say.
Face off now. Slung over towards that left sideline. Picked up by Megan Chase. Megan Chase gets around a defender. Throws it over. Lily Doran.
I do believe we've spotted a Scoba Sports member at Kid Field today, Aramis Loma Guzman, sitting in the bleachers.
Always good to see our fellow SBSers here. As Boston College now in front of the net. Shot. Believe it went wide. Getting a lot of shots on net right now
Yeah,
are
they got
the
a good
Eagles.
look right there. Nice centering pass.
With it again now is BC. Towards the side of the net now, over by that GLE. Back down below the net, Chase again. Chase will throw it over, Duttenhofer. Duttenhofer looking for someone, a lot of sticks in the way from the Buffaloes. Still holding on to it. Back up top, that pass can't connect. Thrown back over. BC maintains possession. Up top now are the Eagles. Looking for someone. That's Donovan. Down below the net now. Buffalo's defense doing a great job. A lot of sticks in the lane, not making passes easy, and not allowing for a lot of easy shots to get through. BC holding on to this ball for a long time now. Lily Doran with the ball. Trying to get around a defender. She'll dish it down. Trying to get in front of the net. Buffaloes with a great stand right now. As the stick gets in the way and the ball is loose over towards that far sideline. BC player gets sent to the turf. No call. We play on. Great defensive possession there by the Buffaloes. As BC picks it right back up. And here they come again. Buffaloes have to make another stand-up coming.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, you get the turnover, you make that great defensive stand, and then just a kind of a hastily done pass on the run.
Duttenhofer to Chase. Chase by that goal line. Coming up top now. Finds Donovan. Donovan tosses it over. Trying to get in front of the net was Livingston. Now the ball loose in front, shot. Save made by O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien hasn't been too phased today. Boston College has obviously had a lot of great shots. That one off a deflection, but O'Brien doesn't get distracted there. And look at bobbing and weaving past the defenders.
O'Brien will take it herself. Tosses it over for Diamond. Buffaloes have some numbers. Diamond with the head of steam coming up the left side. Bothered there by Kate Devaney. Thrown back down below the net. And the Buffaloes will establish possession.
Yeah, O'Brien's been the MVP today. Getting her girls out in transition there with some solid saves and then some aggression. Always love to see aggression from goalkeepers.
That pass to Diamond can't connect. Still picked up by the Buffs. They hang with it. Below the net now. Finds Conjoyan. Over to Schitzman. Fakes the pass, looking to cut in front. A lot of bodies in the way, puts one on, and that's far too easy of a save there for Finley Collins, the BC netminder.
Yeah, solid job from the defense there. They didn't fall for the fake as they were able to stuff the attempt there.
Collins still with the ball, looking for someone. A lot going on right now there in that neutral zone as ball gets on the ground. Stoppage of play, it'll be Eagles ball.
Yeah, Buffs are pressing. I like to see that after Boston College had some easy transition times down the field.
The Buffaloes know what they have to do here today to take down this number 4 team in the country. A track meet is not going to do it. BC wins that all day. So they're going to have to grit and grind and find any way to get maybe a little bit of an ugly one, as long as it's a win.
Yeah, it's been a defensive quarter, under 5 to go now in the first quarter, and both teams neck and neck.
Chase now below the net. BC with another offensive possession. They spent all their time in that buff zone today as that pass in front can't connect. Ball on the ground. Sticks going after it, popped up into the air. BC comes away with it. Below the net are the Eagles. Throwing it over to McClintock. Now over there for Dunhofer. Dunhofer looking for a shot, nothing there. Buffalo's defense, despite spending a lot of time in their own zone, they're doing a great job of not letting anything get through, making shots not easy, making passes not easy. As here comes the Eagles again, pushed out, and we got a penalty. Looks like we'll get a free shot here for the Eagles.
That first big test, under 4 in the quarter. Buffs about to finish this quarter strong, but big opportunity for the Eagles.
Catherine Smith will take it there in front of Sophie O'Brien. Shot, save, made by O'Brien once again. She's been absolutely incredible. Here comes Schitzman. Schitzman sent to the turf. And we'll get a stoppage of play. A yellow card sent out for that one. Schitzman got sent down hard there.
Yeah, going back to that save, O'Brien not fooled one bit. Just had to take one step to her right. Dug it with ease.
Sydney Schitzman will start things up for the Buffaloes here when we get our whistle. There we go. Bothered there by Duttenhofer. Gets around her. She'll cross midfield. Throws it over. Brooke Miller. Miller coming up the middle of the field, looking for someone. She might take a shot herself. Shot, score! Brooke Miller does it herself. Coming right up Broadway, and she puts the shot on net, and it gets past. The Buffaloes take the lead here in the first quarter.
Massive possession there. Great to see the aggression for both of these squads, but specifically that possession. Miller.
So Miller scoring the tie-breaking goal here in this early contest. BC scored in the first 2 minutes and haven't scored since in this first quarter. Buffalo's defense has been locked down, and the Buffaloes have capitalized on their offensive opportunities. Drop midfield. Following Brooke Miller's goal, Miller will take the draw herself. Won by the Eagles. The Eagles looking to tie this game back up. That pass can't connect on the ground. Megan Chase will go after it, picking it up. BC still with the ball. Tossing it over. Kate McLean now. Down below the net. That's McClintock. Throwing it over now to the left side. Back to Megan Chase. Chase with the goal early in the game for BC. Looking to make it a second. Nothing there. She'll dish it down over to Livingston. Livingston looking to cut in front of the net. Pass in front. It's on the ground. Picked up by BC. Not yet. Still there. And then coming over to help is Catherine Smith. BC still with it. 2.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 2-1 Buffaloes. With the ball now, Kate McLean. McLean looking for someone. A lot of Eagles in front of the net. Shot that goes over.
Yeah, the Buffaloes really sticking to their man on defense. Have played pretty spaced out, but they've done a solid job of preventing open opportunities in these last few minutes.
Another stand up coming as that ball got in front of the net but didn't go anywhere. And now O'Brien with the ball. Buffaloes hold again. Here comes Brooke Miller. Trying to weave around a couple defenders. She's bothered by a couple of Eagles. She'll dish it down. throw it over. Ball still on the ground, just kind of hanging around there on the turf. Not a lot of possession being held right now. Again on the ground. Picked up by BC. Bit of a messy sequence of lacrosse there.
Yeah, hard sequence. Big collision. Rose Fisher tumbles into Boston College attacker.
It'll be BC with the ball. Sarah Duttenhofer down on that far sideline. We get a stoppage of play.
I don't think they didn't start the clock.
Oh yeah, a minute 18 to go here in this first quarter of action. Buffalo's looking to make it 3 straight for them here in this Mile High tournament, taking down some really good teams. This will be another great team if they can pull this one out today. Here come the Eagles. McClintock will throw it over. Kate McLean now down
Colorado
below the net.
Their sticks high.
In front of the net, looking for a shot. Can't get through. I believe we're wide of the net.
That's O'Brien again. I mean, before this game, we thought it was going to be Grace Morgan. We called her, who our graphics coordinator, Nick, called the best goalkeeper he's ever seen, goaltender he's ever seen. But with O'Brien's performance today, she might have some competition.
O'Brien says, I can do it too, as she's been outstanding here in the first quarter. And in front of the net, shot, score.
God damn it.
That was a little too easy for the Eagles as Kate McLean cut in front of the net, and there was no one there to stop her.
Well, it's the announcer's jinx, but I will say really nice centering pass. And not much O'Brien could have done about that. Just point-blank range.
That would have been an absurd save from O'Brien if she stopped that one.
I was planning that comment. I saw how O'Brien had been starting, and I'm like, we should probably wait till Buffs have it in their offensive end.
It's Katie McLean scoring the tying goal.
Yeah, the assist will go to me on that goal.
Now at midfield for the face-off following our tying goal here, 2-2 Buffaloes and Eagles on this Sunday morning, 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. That one's won by the Eagles again. They've won a lot of these face-offs. Running out of time, or BC, they got to make something happen. That stick got in the way. Ball on the ground, picked up by Amelia Livingston. Livingston, she has 15 seconds to work with. Looking for someone, nothing there. Shot on net, tried to skip it along the ground, and it'll go out of play. Clock's still running, 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, and that is going to do it for our first quarter of action here at Kittredge Field in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. Buffaloes 2 and Eagles 2 after 1 quarter of play.
Yeah, very evenly matched quarter. Obviously, Boston College dominant in possession. But the Buffaloes have had their fair share of chances. And it should be a very good one. Defensive battle. We'll see if things open up later on.
We'll take a break here.
Bodies waking up this early in the morning, but it's a fun one so far.
Yeah, we'll take a break here. Enjoy our scenes from our live show here on Scobo Sports.
Hello and welcome to this week's Scobo Sports Live Show. I'm Trent Finnegan.
And I'm Leo Rivera IV.
And how are we doing today, Leo?
We've had a very brisk, late spring window here with weather-wise, but I'm having a fantastic day. Yourself?
Very cold in Boulder, but I've had a good day. We're at the CU NFL Showcase earlier. We'll get to that later. But we start things off with very important news from football. Coach Prime is here to stay. Over the break, the Board of Regents agreed to a record-breaking contract extension to the 2029 season, giving Sanders a base salary of $10 million per year, adding on to the original 5-year, nearly $30 million contract he first signed in 2022. Dion has the opportunity to rake in an astounding $54 million over the next 5 years. This new agreement makes Sanders the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and top 10 in the country.
And earlier this week, we asked around campus to see how some students were feeling after the news of the big contract.
In 1994, Deion Sanders came up with his hit single, Must Be the Money. But 31 years later, Coach Prime still says, must be the money.
While most people on campus over spring break were catching up on their sleep, Coach Prime inked a $54 million contract that should keep him here another 5 years. But how does the average CU Boulder student feel about their highest paid official's new contract?
I think he's done a lot for the program and really built up just not just like the football program, but kind of like the school in general.
Whether it's the Prime effect or not, applications for the fall 2024 semester had a 20% increase with 68,000 applications.
Just overall as a school, it's getting more people coming and just the bringing a huge community together in Boulder.
While that's good and all for the school, what about the football side?
I'm tired of losing, so I know Deion will help us win some more games.
However, one student thinks the amount of cheddar he's getting is flat out ridiculous.
I think that it's a little silly to pay him that much.
Deion stated at the start of his tenure that he would restore the program to its former glory. So the real question is, can he do it with the new extension?
What was it like? Was it early 90s, 80s since we won our last championship? I feel like Deion's our best shot of ever getting back.
Welcome back to Kittredge Field. 2-2 between the Buffaloes and the Eagles. Here both teams will switch sides. We got the Buffaloes going from right to left now here for the second quarter of action.
It's been an eventful morning. We've had a goose delay, an announcer's jinx, and 2 goals for either side. We're ready for an electric finish as we head toward lunchtime. It'll be Sydney Schitzman taking the draw for the Buffaloes. Popped up into the air. Coming away with it are the Eagles. They win another face-off. Down by the left side now, Katie McLean. She scored the tying goal. Down below the net now. Looking for a question mark, maybe not there. Back up top for Megan Chase, the first goal scorer. Thrown on net, save by O'Brien. Picked up that rebound by the Eagles. Back up top now, Hopfner. Thrown over. Looking for something in front of the net, not there. Now she'll still hold on to the ball. Not taking a shot. Chase now at the ball. She'll toss it over to the left side now, looking for something. Shot on net. Not there as we get a penalty on the Buffaloes, I believe. Looks like we get a free shot here. And that's the second of the day, if so. And it will be.
It's Lily Doran with the opportunity here for the Eagles to break this tie. O'Brien in front of her cage. Shot wide of the net.
Yeah, we talked about O'Brien's good day continuing.
Golden opportunity for the Eagles. They can't capitalize. Buffaloes with the ball now in their own zone.
Yeah, I just had to put that as safe as possible. I don't want a second jinx.
We got to wait until they cross midfield before we start talking.
Now we can probably say it.
Now we can say Sophie O'Brien's been incredible today.
Oh, unstoppable. She'll never give up a goal again.
Schitzman with the ball now. Buffaloes, their opportunity to break this tie now. Down the middle, shot, and they score! Chase Kriebel breaking this tie. It's 3-2 Colorado.
Yeah, nice accuracy on the shot from her left-hand side. Finding the bottom right corner to put the Buffs up.
Great shot. The Buffaloes not spending a lot of time in the offensive zone, but they don't really need to because they're scoring immediately once they get there.
Yeah, they've made the most of their opportunities. Certainly have. Though the possession battle definitely still in favor of the Eagles. They've come to play. Obviously, probably made a long trip out to Boulder from the East Coast.
Yeah, the Eagles also, they played late last night, finishing their game. It was well dark outside by the time they were done. And now they're right back at it this morning. Sure they got.
Well, they're the number 4 team in the country for a reason. They prep for these challenges. They're a powerhouse for that reason.
That ball rolled along the turf for a while, and now it's picked up by the Eagles. They're coming now towards the right side of the field. Doran now with the ball. Doran will toss it over. With it is McLean. Back up top now. Thrown over. Eagles still with it. Chase tosses it back up top. Down again to Doran. Low to McClintock. McClintock looking for someone. Nothing really there. Now she'll go for a question mark. Shot, score. Mary McClintock scoring that one for the Buffaloes. She was looking for someone to pass it to in front of the net. Nothing there, so she said she'll do it herself with a nice question mark shot, and we are tied once again.
Yeah, back and forth we go early in this quarter. As we said, it was a pretty defensive first quarter. Things starting to open up a little bit.
It's been a great contest, very evenly matched thus far, it seems, in everything aside from time of possession.
Yeah, there's been excellent individual intuition today. A lot of aggressive moves. And it's paid dividends for both of these squads.
We'll take another draw midfield. Shits in with it again. Thrown up into the air. Swinging at it. And the Eagles come away with it again. The Eagles have been surgical on that face-off dot. Big reason for why they've really controlled this time of possession here. Doran below the net.
Yeah, they've won nearly every draw control today. And they forced a good amount of turnovers too, so possession, definitely something the Eagles thrive at retaining.
Eagles with a chance to take the lead. That pass can't connect. Ground ball picked up by the Eagles in front of the net now. No shot there.
Well, we have a penalty again.
Yeah, Katie McLean was hit in the head by a stick.
Yellow card too. Is this the third penalty shot of the day?
Anna Lee all guilty for the Buffaloes. It looks like it'll be Katie McLean taking that free shot now for the Eagles. Looking to take the lead for the first time since the early first quarter.
Boston College 0 for 2 on these opportunities today. Sophie O'Brien has guessed correctly both times around. We'll see what happens here.
They will not take the shot.
Yeah, they're holding back.
Opt to just reestablish possession, toss things around. Shot in front of the net, and they score. Megan Chase with her second of the day.
Chase, really nice move. Continue.
Gets past O'Brien, and the Boston College Eagles take a 4-3 lead here in the second quarter. About 11:27 left to go, so still plenty of time in this quarter and this game.
Yeah, I believe this is the first time that a team has scored consecutive goals. It's been, Boston College will score one, then Colorado, and then the other way around at times. So BC on a little bit of a run. We'll see how the Buffs can respond to it.
It was an interesting decision by Katie McLean not to take the shot on the free opportunity and instead opt to set up the offense again, and it worked for them. So now 4-3. Eagles in the lead. Buffaloes, they switched up who was taking the draw. That time it was Sophia Pitcher, but still not one. With it now getting around a defender is Kate Donovan. Donovan will throw it to Chase. Chase over to Hopfner. Below the net now is the ball for the Eagles.
Buffs have got to be careful here. Possession, or momentum rather, definitely in favor of Boston College. Can't let it get too out of hand. Got to win more draw controls. Boston College is taking their time.
To no one.
Yeah, that pass it's kind of between two of her teammates. Some confusion, and the Buffs will take over.
Megan Lorenzen will pick the ball up for the Buffaloes. as the defender will look to start things up. Here come the Buffs now, coming the other way. Looking to tie this game up. They got to get past that neutral zone, get into that left third of the field. Now they do. Here they come down the middle. We got a stoppage of play before the shot. And a turnover.
Yeah, not sure the call on the whistle there. Maybe an offensive violation of some sort.
The Eagles with some steam coming down. Sarah Duttenhofer looking to put one on, and she's sent to the turf. Megan Lorenzen put the body on her. And it looks like we might get another penalty and a free shot upcoming.
Yeah, that in basketball, you might call a charge, but in lacrosse, feet are shifting. It's more of a blocking foul in that case.
BC again opting not to take the shot and instead just setting possession back up. They'll let everyone touch the ball before they get some cuts in front of the net. At the top of the key now, it's Hopfner. Looking for someone, she finds Chase below it. Below the cage again, still Chase. Looking for someone. Now thrown over to Donovan. Donovan to Hopfner.
Yeah, the sun is searing down on us now. Not necessarily hot, just the brightness. Should have brought a hat.
It's actually quite comfortable temperature-wise.
But yeah, temperature's been fine.
Looking for an opportunity now. Nothing there. Good defense by the Buffaloes. Back to the top. Another opportunity. Not there as that ball gets sent to the ground. It'll roll all the way around, and the Buffaloes will come away with it. We get a whistle, and BC ball. Buffaloes can't really catch a break here with these whistles.
No, they finally made a nice stop, got a loose ball, but it'll remain with the Eagles.
Kate Donovan and these BC attackers will get another opportunity, looking to extend this lead. We resume play. Here they come once again. Looking to get in front of the net. Another stops before the shot. And it's a goal for the Eagles. I believe a whistle got blown before the shot came off, but the Eagles celebrate as if they just scored a goal, which they do. The scoreboard shows 5-3. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, not exactly sure, but the Eagles bench is loving it. 3 straight for BC.
So 5-3 now, Eagles. The first lead larger than 1 of the day. Buffalo's really got to get back into this one. They have to score this next goal. Cannot let a team as good as Boston College continue to build a big lead here.
Yeah, these next 5 minutes or so before the end of the quarter are must-have for Colorado, and
almost a big face-off win for the Buffaloes, but
almost.
instead gets knocked out of her stick. And BC with possession once again. BC applying pressure once again here, about halfway through this second quarter. Everyone will touch the ball. Once again, Megan Chase throws it back up for Donovan. Donovan tosses it over. McGuire now with the ball. She'll throw it back down below the net. Chase again. BC looking for the opportunity. Someone can cut in front of the net, but that ball got knocked out of the stick. Loose ball coming away with it is BC. These ground balls, the Buffaloes having a tough time picking them up.
yeah, I mean, Boston College has a lot of players back by, they're the end of their offensive zone, the edge of that area. They've been able to corral almost all of them. Buffs have usually had to either rely on a turnover or just take it before that.
Front of the net, shot, score! Megan Chase once again, her third of the day. Beats Sophie O'Brien, and this lead is now 3 for the Eagles.
Yeah,
Colorado losing their grip a little bit on the Eagles. They had them earlier. They were in the lead in the second quarter. But now that is 3 unanswered for the Eagles.
Yeah, this quarter started 2-2. Eagles outscoring Colorado 4-1. And they've really maybe had 1 or 2 even feasible opportunities this entire quarter. And another nice curl to get around in front of net. Just gets
Now,
behind the defense.
even more importantly for the Buffaloes, they have to get this next goal. Cannot let BC run away with it. Still pitcher again on that face-off dot. Ball still not picked up by anyone. Now pitcher comes away with it.
Yeah, they needed that.
The first Buffaloes face-off win in quite a while. Here comes Diamond. Diamond looking for someone in front of the net. Ball on the ground picked up, and looks like we get a penalty. Or at least a violation of some sort. Yeah, we do. It's a yellow card. It'll be a free shot for the Buffaloes.
Naomi Winiarski.
A chance to close this gap for Colorado. Still waiting. Finley Collins staring her down in front of her cage. Here we go. Shot. Score! Naomi Winiarski. A big one for the Buffaloes. The lead cut to 2.
That's a fun name to say. And she did not miss. Just took one step and ripped it. And the first penalty attempt, and the Buffs again, just taking advantage of the opportunities in front of them.
An incredible shot from number 32.
Now generating those opportunities has been another story. But it all comes down to possession. I mean, Buffaloes can just keep things kicking.
Buffalo switched up again.
Too many opportunities far behind.
Face-off draw now. Would be huge if the Buffaloes can get consecutive goals here, as winning that face-off is no one yet. Now it's going to be BC. Ball is picked up by Donovan. And now the Eagles looking to extend this lead back out to 3 with an offensive possession here. Thrown below the net. McClintock. Up top, down by the Geo lead, trying to find something there. Nothing. Back to McClintock. A little discombobulated were the Eagles there for a second. Now they all regain their positions. Look for a shot in front of the net. Not there. And it'll be Buffalo's ball.
Yeah, looked to be batted down and then just a scruffle. I was trying to combine words there. Just a scuffle for the ball there.
Starting things up for the Buffaloes. Here they come, Megan Lorenzen. Dishing it over. Now they're in that face-off circle. Crossing midfield are the Buffaloes. Throwing it over, Issa Thompson. Thompson now still with the ball. So head below the net. Dish it to Diamond. Diamond throws it over. Back up top now are the Buffaloes. Bella Lane with the ball. Looking to get around a defender. Nothing there. She'll just throw it over to Ava Diamond. Diamond now. Leaves it for Lane. Lane looking for someone. Ball on the ground, picked up by Finley Collins.
Yeah, that's one of the few extended possessions where the Buffs have had where they haven't been able to find a goal. Boston College defense just not really relenting. Not too much motion to get anyone open.
Bit of an inconsequential possession there for the Buffaloes. Didn't really have anything going there, it seemed. Not a lot of traction.
Yeah, but plenty of motion for the Eagles to get this possession right into the danger zone.
Buffs have to make a stand once again. Around the horn are the Eagles. Back up top now for Hopfner. Hoffner dishes it down to Donovan. Kate Donovan trying to get around her guy. Shot on net, saved by O'Brien, making the save with the right leg. As we get another stoppage here. Looks like it is a good whistle for the Buffaloes.
Or no, it looks like a penalty shot.
Yeah, no, I lied. It is in fact a penalty shot for Megan Chase. The Buffs fans to the left of me psyched me out. Megan Chase with a shot. Save made by O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien's done it all. Making the save with the leg earlier, had a save with the foot in the first quarter.
Here come the Buffaloes now. Ava Diamond spinning around. Looking for someone. Trying to get in front. Maybe she'll do it herself. No, she holds up. Throws it back down below the net. Issa Thompson with the ball. Back to Diamond.
Yeah, final 3 minutes approaching now.
Would be huge if the Buffs can make it a 1-goal game and close this gap even more. Again, below the net of the Buffaloes.
Yeah, you've got to just tell yourself, you just win these 3 minutes. Go to the half, close behind. But for the Eagles, I mean, another goal would be massive.
Another extended possession here for the Buffaloes. All of their goals have come from pretty quick strikes. So interesting to see them take their time here. Diamond makes a move in front of the net. Shot, score! A great move from Ava Diamond. Cutting and weaving around the BC defenders. And it's 5-6. Boston College. 2 unanswered now for Colorado. They close this gap. We got a 1-goal game here with 2.5 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, great agility there. Buffs have been struggling to find penetration of Boston College's defense, but they've kind of just been, standing around. They've had to sort of pass it around, look, survey and eye up an opportunity. Did an excellent job there. And are right back in this game after it looked like the Eagles were going to be running away with it.
Buffs needed some action from their stars, and they got an Ava Diamond. It'll be Sydney Schitzman back on the face-off circle for the Buffaloes. Those face-off wins have been a little bit better for the Buffs. They've been switching up who's been taking the draws.
They've been scrappy. Certainly haven't lost these face-offs off of intuition or just mindset.
Definitely
it's just
aren't
been
clean anymore for BC. Back into the offensive zone are the Eagles. Hacked at, holding on to the ball. Good composure there by Katie McLean to keep with it.
Yeah, solid job by the Buffs, though, to just shield off that opportunity. After that whistle, players got caught a little bit off guard. Transition opportunity, but Buffs set up the defense quickly.
The Eagles' offense looking to make it a 2-goal game. Shot saved by O'Brien off the mask.
And again, off the mask.
Big one from O'Brien. A crucial save there. Very timely have been her stops in front of the cage.
Yeah, she's had a solid day. Not as good a second quarter as she had a first quarter, but it's mostly just been on defensive lapses, I would say. There have been goals where there isn't a ton she could do about it. So for the Buffs, just focusing on staying composed on defense as they did there until the end when that opportunity was given up.
Eagles again in that right third of the field. After that loose ball around midfield got scooped up by BC eventually. Now up top is Smith. Smith leaves it for Hoffner. Hoffner looking for someone. That shot along the ground, an easy one for O'Brien. Here come the Buffaloes. Over there by midfield. They got a minute to go here in this first half of action. That pass got chopped down and BC with it. That one's too high. And it'll roll all the way out of play.
So yeah, for the Buffs, you got one more run. You got the shot clock will not matter. Though actually, so yeah,
Matty White to O'Brien. O'Brien with a big heave towards midfield.
Just got to put everything into this possession and tie this game up at the half.
Shitsman with the ball with some room. Trying to get around the defender. Maybe she'll put a shot on. She does. And a save made by Collins. Timely one for BC. In front of the net now. Tried to find someone, but instead it's picked up by the BC defense.
That was Collins' best save of the day.
Katie Smith. We'll just toss it towards midfield. That'll do it for our first half of action here on this Sunday morning. Boston College Eagles 6 and your Colorado Buffaloes 5. The Buffs hanging with the number 4 team in the country. They scored 2 big ones here to close out the second quarter of action. As that'll do it for our first half here on Scoba Sports. Harrison, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, good to see the Buffaloes turning things up, towards that end of the second quarter, get back in it, go into the second half with some momentum. Though for the Eagles, they won't go down easily. They've shown they can go on a run, scored 4 of the first 5 goals of that period, and will still go into the second half with the upper hand. So we have a good finish in store for us.
Both teams will take a breather, as will we. Enjoy our live show, and we will get back at you for the third quarter of action here on Kittredge Field.
Back to that same level of competition.
As Colorado football gears up for the 2025 season, Coach Prime will be rolling the big bucks, but only time will tell if the investment is worth it. Xavier McNivets, Scobo Sports.
Thanks, Xavier. With that, we also have the details of Coach Prime's newest extension. Deion Sanders will get a substantial bonus for each major milestone he reaches while in Boulder. These landmarks include $100,000 for each additional win after 9 wins in a regular season, $150,000 for a Big 12 championship appearance, and $400,000 for making the college football playoff. If he chooses to leave CU before the end of this year, his buyout will be for $12 million, decreasing to $3 million by 2029. That number will decrease by $2 million each season. Sanders is also allowed to retire at any time without penalty as long as he does not join another team after that. It's now time for this week's Buff Banter with Mia and Colby with some insight on this contract.
Hey Buff fans, you're here for Buff Banter today with Mia Driscoll and Colby Wyatt. We're here to talk about Coach Prime's record-breaking contract extension through 2029. Colby, get us started with some of your thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, let's just get the facts out of the way. 5 years, $54 million. Starts out getting paid $10 million a year, and that'll increase every year. And then the buyout, on the flip side, will decrease.
Hey Buff fans, you're here for Buff Banter today with Mia Driscoll and Colby Wyatt. We're here to talk about Coach Prime's record-breaking contract extension through 2029. Colby, get us started with some of your thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, let's just get the facts out of the way. 5 years, $54 million. Starts out getting paid $10 million a year, and that'll increase every year. And then the buyout, on the flip side, will decrease every year. It starts off at $12 million, and it'll decrease to the end. Last year, the buyout will only be $3 million, which is important, something I'm sure we'll talk about throughout this whole segment, because every year that he's with us, the odds of him leaving us will get more likely because of that decreased buyout.
Yeah, totally. And that is something that has been the bigger concern is with that buyout going down, he has less reason to stay here. And that's another thing that we've talked about is Colorado didn't initially have the funds to pay him this big of a contract. Number one highest paid coach in the Big 12. And as we look at what he's brought to this program, $99 million in revenue. There's been some that even say that this is not just deserving, but that he's deserved more. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say he deserved more. I mean, 4th highest paid in the nation, highest paid in Big 12. I don't think he needs any more, especially when we look at the fact that he's only been with us for a couple years. There's concerns. Have we reached our peak? Are we only going to get worse? Can he make us better? If he can't make us better, then I don't think the money is quite worth it.
Obviously, that turnaround from his first season to his second season, we can see that he wants to be here, at least for right now. We can see the drive that he's instilled in these players, national prominence brought back to this program. Our athletic director is clearly very excited about the future. What else do you think that would keep him here? As we lose Travis Hunter, as we lose Shador, we lose these big draft picks, how do we see the recruitment increase from that big contract? We see the players that are more encouraged to come here with him, supposedly staying here longer.
Well, I mean, frankly, I think he wants to stay here. He said multiple times that he likes it here. He wants to be here, and the only really reason he'd leave is to coach his son in the NFL. His son's in the NFL. And so unless an opportunity like that arises, I really don't think we have anything to worry about. Of course, there are things that the college can do, like NIL funds, things like that, stuff make his life just a little easier, make him do his job better, just things like that. But I do think he wants to be here, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that the recruiting aspect of it is huge because that shows the players, whereas before it was a question of, is this a one and done? Is this, he's just here for Shedeur, as you mentioned. And now we can see that he really is trying to build something here. You know, one of the bonuses that he gets is for a Big 12 championship appearance, for a college football playoff appearance, for National Coach of the Year appearance. So those are put in the contract with the expectation that those are achievable, and those are things that he's considering and the school is considering.
Yeah, and I mean, well, first we got to take a step back. Something you mentioned, the recruiting. Is his ability to recruit going to increase? Because obviously we're still getting all the transfers, all the transfers that he wants. But if you talk about freshmen, stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, we're getting those, but will we ever get those on the same level as top programs in the nation? Like, I mean, Oregon, Alabama stuff. I mean, that's a high goal, but you just have to wonder, will his ability to recruit high schoolers kind of increase?
Yeah, and I think that's something we've seen with just his personality is something that draws people here. You know, he's very outspoken. He has this persona around him, and that is super attractive, especially to young players with the NIL, making a name for themselves. That is something that comes with going here. You know, we have the handles on the back of the practice jerseys. That is something that he certainly brings to the table that I don't think other programs necessarily do. And that is part of where he's brought so much of that revenue is the media side of it that he really plays into, I think.
Yeah, of course. And he's done so much for not just the football program, but the school. He's done so much. He's increased, the application rates. He's increased the school revenue. The town of Boulder, he's increased the town of Boulder's revenue. So much great stuff. So at the end of the day, if we're talking about the contract, making him the 4th highest paid, and even including all those things like the decreasing buyouts, I'm still happy with it because I think we wouldn't be here without him. Our football program wouldn't be here without him. I think we need him for at least a couple more years. This contract makes me happy.
I agree. How long do you see him for? Going through 2029?
I wouldn't be surprised if you came from the future, told me he retires here. I wouldn't be surprised, but then at the same time, I give him at least 3 years. After 3 years, I'm nervous about it.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Love to see that happen.
Yeah, but I think that's about all I have to say on the subject. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you for watching our Buff Banner, and I'm Colby Wyatt. This is Mia Driscoll, and back to you at the desk.
Keeping with our theme of Coach Prime, let's look at his impact outside of football in Boulder. Since arriving, student population is up to 67,000, a 20% increase from a year ago. Out-of-state applicants are up 18%, and applicants who identify as Black or African American are up 50.5%. Lots of diversity coming to CU. A total of $93.9 million.
Well, welcome back to Kittredge Field here in Boulder, Colorado, alongside Paxton Haynes. I'm Harrison Simeon. Colorado Buffaloes, they trail the Boston College Eagles 6-5 as the second half is just about underway. Eagles are off to a nice start in the second quarter, but the Buffaloes battled back, keep this game at 1. And a stoppage quickly.
Harrison and I
won by the
swapping
Eagles.
spots here for the second half of action. He'll be taking you through with play-by-play. As here come Eagles.
And that is Megan Chase, 3 goals today for Boston College, leading the way as now Boston College surveying, trying to get an early opportunity. Kate Donovan spins around, puts a shot on, stopped by O'Brien, flipped up in the air, batted down, and behind the net.
Eagles waste no time testing O'Brien once again, but she's ready. The break at the half
Chase
didn't
looking
change
for
anything.
Donovan, missed her. And a whistle. It'll go Colorado's way.
Pretty solid first defensive stand there for the Buffs. Another great save by O'Brien. The Buffaloes, they're doing a really good job today of getting sticks in the lanes, making passes hard and shots even harder.
And a quick turnover. Sarah Dunnenhofer takes it away. Now a chance. Fired on by, looked to be Lily Doran, but unable to get past O'Brien.
That's what you want back if you're Doran. Wide open shot, nothing but her and O'Brien, and just sails it over the net.
So now the Eagles resetting. Maintain control through about the first 2 minutes of this quarter. Curl around and a score! Alexandra McGuire extends the Boston College's lead to 7-5.
Yeah, tough in there for the Buffs. That was a really nice shot by McGuire. Just right there in that top left corner. Nothing O'Brien can really do. She got around a couple defenders, and when you put a shot like that with no one in the way, it's going to be a tough one to save.
So just under 2 minutes down in this quarter. Eagles widen the gap just a bit. Buffs have done a solid job of responding today. We'll see how they do.
See if they make any adjustments here on the face-off circle. Those have been absolutely brutal for them in that first half. They lost almost all of them.
Amelia Livingston in that face-off for Boston College. Sophia Pitcher for the Buffs. A whistle and the Buffs will take it.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Even if it's not clean, even if it takes a whistle to win the face-off. As long as they have possession, it's all that matters.
So, referee conversing with the Boston College bench as Rose Fitcher prepares to initiate the possession for Colorado. She's double teamed, but passes out of it. And the Buffs will cross the midpoint. This pass a little bit mishandled, but taken now by Nina Minozzi. Now Ava Diamond.
I like what the Buffaloes are doing here, cutting in front of the net right away. They waste no time here in the offensive zone. That's been their bread and butter here in this first half on how they've scored quickly.
And another whistle. Flag taken out of the pocket by the ref. Lane Eman. Current temperature of 46 degrees here in Boulder.
Yeah, it's gotten really nice here.
Yeah, beautiful day for some lacrosse. It was pretty cold yesterday. I came out here thinking it was going to be the same. Like I had a jacket, you got a puffer on.
Yeah,
but
I saw our guy Kieran Warger wearing a full blanket over his back for those games yesterday.
Yeah. But now a penalty opportunity for Colorado. They spin around. Now parried away by the Boston College defense. Ruthless, just swarming Lane Eman.
It's about as suffocating defense as suffocating defenses
Diamond
get.
Curls around, puts on a shot. Save made.
Just no room to breathe there for the Buffaloes.
Yeah,
that
Finley
BC
Collins,
defense was quite
nice
good.
save even from point blank range. Now Livingston floats it over the head of Petra Lyon. She corrals it. Boston College bringing it around the net. They'll go ring around the Rosie style as they try to set it up. Now that is Doran. Now Livingston. Fake spins, tries to get a look. Cuts inside, throws a shot on, and misses high.
Yeah, Boston College was making a lot of cuts there. A lot of misdirection opportunities there for the Buffaloes to lose their man, but the Buffaloes defense was quite disciplined there and sticking with their guy, and it showed. They got a shot to go over the net.
So Colorado takes over, but pressured back behind their own net. And a whistle, some physicality there. CU remains in control.
Yeah, these girls are definitely not shy from putting the body on each other. They've been quite physical here.
So a few fresh bodies on for both sides as they await the whistle. Annie Quinn comes right by our camera, and she gets past two defenders.
Really get a feel for how
Now
quick
stopping
this game
and
is.
starting. Looking for an open man. And she might have stepped out of bounds or some violation.
Yeah, I
And
think she stepped out of
the
bounds
Eagles
there.
now take it.
The Eagles' parents to the right of us, they were all over that one,
Yes.
calling it before the ref did.
They've really traveled well. Under 9.5 to go in the third quarter. Pass back to her, and it was missed high by McGuire.
It's a
BC
great-
remains in possession.
Great defensive stand there from the Buffaloes. Just made things really difficult. Bit of a messy play for BC, and that's what you have to do if you're Colorado here. The easier things get for BC, they are the number 4 team in the country after all. They will make you pay.
We've hit a bit of a scoring lull as Boston College scored in the first couple minutes of this quarter, but nothing from either side since. Colorado trying to stick with them as the Eagles looking behind their own net, looking for an open opportunity. It's Megan Chase. Got it over to her teammate. She snakes inside, but not able to find anything. That was Kate Donovan. And a whistle, and it looks like a penalty upcoming yet again for Boston College.
Yeah, I believe there's a couple of them there committed by East Thompson, I believe, who was guilty for that.
So it'll be Donovan.
Or, I'm sorry, that was Anna Leal who took the penalty.
Donovan to take the penalty. I believe it's the 5th of the day.
Ofer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
for
they
BC.
haven't capitalized on any of them. Colorado's had one and has made one. Donovan rears back and misses just wide.
Timely save once again from O'Brien. She's kept him in this game.
Centering pass, batted down, kicked around, and recovered by the Eagles. Chase floats it over the top. Now Livingston put it inside. Donovan tried another shot, and O'Brien did the splits a little bit to get it away, but now Chase collecting it for the Eagles. Puts it centering pass, shot, and they score.
Man, tough sequence there. Right before it, all alone in front of the net was a BC attacker, and O'Brien making an incredible save, stretching out with that right leg, and it kicks off her foot. Unfortunately for her, the longer that the BC Eagles offense presses down on that gas pedal, sooner or later one will get past.
So put it on the board for Sarah Duttenhofer, and she makes it 8-5. Tying the biggest lead of the day for Boston College.
Sophie O'Brien can only bail out these Buffaloes for so long. They really got to find some offensive generation here in the second half. They got nothing yet.
She hasn't been able to do it alone. She's made some impressive saves, but Boston College just remaining with it, preventing the Buffaloes from taking the ball back despite the number of missed shots. Face-off draw won by Boston College. Donovan gets whacked by Brooke Miller. Yellow card attributed to her.
Yeah, when you send that stick up there towards those shoulder blades, that's a call every single time. You keep it around by those hips, by that stomach area, you can get away with it. Not when it's that high up.
So now the Buffs putting every single one of their players in this defensive formation as Donovan initiates. She'll find some space and leave it for Livingston. Around they go as Chase, errant pass, looking for Duttenhofer, goes behind the net.
Smart
And
play by
O'Brien
O'Brien to
collects it.
chase after that one immediately after she saw it was a loose ball. Make sure she was the closest one to it when it went out of bounds.
So now O'Brien trying to get it out from behind her own net. And a risky pass trapped in near the sideline, and that was an out of bounds call.
Yeah, not
Too
really
far to tell the number.
Not really the right one to throw it to, as she was there with two defenders on her on that far sideline. Nothing really there.
Pass ripped over to the top for Boston College. Just a hand to Colorado as they'll try to get it out of their own zone again. Just press near the sideline, tiptoeing. No call there.
Bringing it all the way down.
Trying to get it
the right
away.
sideline.
She's finally got Ava Diamond. Now Diamond floats it away out of the double team for Bella Lane. Under 6 to go in this third quarter. Boston College leads Colorado 8-5 if you're just joining us. Alongside Paxton Hayes, I'm Harrison Simeon. You've missed a pretty good one. Evenly matched. Ava Diamond looking for an answer.
Buffalo's offense finally breaking through towards the net. They've been really pushed up towards that line there at the top of the box.
Now back to Diamond. Waiting on a teammate. She might do it herself. Tries to get inside. Floats a point-blank shot, but it's stopped. And it's stopped hard by Finley Collins.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity there for the Buffaloes, but Finley Collins, she's been just as good as O'Brien, really. She's got some really timely saves.
So now Boston College the other way. Here's a shot. Stopped by O'Brien.
That shot was far too easy for BC. It's Buffalo's defense maybe get a little fatigued. They got to find a goal here to stop this BC momentum.
Buffs tried to gain a fast break the other way, but can't, as Boston College collects another turnover. But this one over the head, and Diamond trying to dig it out of the ground, and a holding call will go on Boston College.
There's your opportunity if you're CU. Got to put one on the board here. You have your chance right here. Got to make it happen.
So Colorado waiting. Issa Thompson floats it over to Lizzie Porter. Now Delaney Conjoyan running around, tried to set her a pass, but too risky there. Too many maroon jerseys in that area as Boston College takes it away.
Yeah, good stick there by Livingston for BC, not letting the pass get through.
And now taken away by Colorado. Didn't let too easy of a transition run that time. As Burrow inside and flipped around and taken away by Boston College. And the flag is called there on Ava Diamond. Naomi Winiarski tried to just force it there and unable to.
This BC defense has been so much better in the second half, just suffocating, making things really, really difficult for the Buffaloes.
Buffs have been shut out this quarter with 2.5 to play in it. And Boston College with the ball. But an errant pass. And now a Colorado possession.
A lot of unforced errors here by Boston College here late in the third quarter.
Yeah, fatigue
Buffalo's
kind of
haven't
starting to show on both
capitalized yet.
sides. As whipped around, a flag held up, but no official whistle. They let them play on. Ava Diamond collects behind the net. They'll set up some sort of formation. Trying to pirouette through the double team and unable to retain it on that run, and Boston College takes it.
Buffs offense a little one-dimensional right now. They've done the same things the last 3 offensive possessions of just trying to force themselves in front of the net.
Yeah, that time it was Sydney Schitzman. Now Ava Diamond has room. Puts it too high. Saved by Boston College.
Tough one there. Diamond throwing her head back. That's a golden opportunity all alone in front of the net. But a great save.
Appears a timeout will be called with 1:05 to go, home stretch of this third quarter. We'll take a quick break. Colorado shut out in the second half so far. They trail 8-5 here on Scope Up Sports.
Keeping with our theme of Coach Prime, let's look at his impact outside of football in Boulder. Since arriving, student population is up to 67,000, a 20% increase from a year ago. Out-of-state applicants are up 18%, and applicants who identify as Black or African American are up 50.5%. Lots of diversity coming to CU. A total of $93.9 million in direct economic impact to the city of Boulder has been reported by CU. The Prime effect is real and isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
And speaking of the Prime effect, we saw it on full force today at the CU NFL Showcase, where they had the whole "we ain't hard to find" everywhere. This was not your normal pro day. Members from all 32 NFL teams were there. The owner of the Cleveland Browns was there. There were multiple GMs. It was an event for sure. There was so many people. There was a lot of great stuff. Obviously, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders were the spotlight, but you want to start with those two, or was there something else that caught your eye from that?
You know, it was kind of a surreal experience, but of course, getting to see Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders up close and personal last time in Boulder, something special, Trent, and I know it's going to be something me and you both remember moving forward, as those are two of the best to ever do it in the blocking.
And Shedeur Sanders completed 58 of his 63 passes today through a couple, and 3 of those were drops, so really 58 of 60. A couple of beautiful deep balls to Will Shepard, to Jimmy Horn. Travis didn't really run a whole lot of deep routes, but he didn't do a lot. Travis and Shedeur also only did routes and throws, no 40s, no 3-cone shuttle, none of that. But people who did do those more common combine drills was the linemen. Was there any linemen that caught your eye today?
Definitely. If you look at Shidozi Nwankwo, who did bench press, putting up 30 reps would have put him at number 1.
Boston College locked in defensively here in this third quarter at Kittredge Field in Boulder, Colorado. Beautiful day here in Boulder as Colorado Women's Club Lacrosse trails the Boston College Eagles, number 4 in the country, 8-5, 1:05 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah,
the Eagles will have possession.
Buffaloes with an opportunity here. I believe they'll have the ball. Or I'm sorry, no, it'll be Boston College because they just took the timeout. But still, Colorado, really need to see them get a goal here before the end of the quarter. They have the time. A minute's not a ton, but it's enough before this fourth quarter of play here.
What do you think they really lacked this quarter? I mean, you saw Colorado, play well offensively in the first half, make the most of their opportunities, but how do you think Boston College has been able to lock in?
I mean, the time of possession has just been so crucial for Boston College here in the third quarter. They've just had all of it. Colorado not spending a lot of time in the offensive zone, and then even then when they are, that Boston College defense just so suffocating here in the third quarter. They must have made some adjustment at the half that really changed stuff, because it is night and day, this Boston College defense in the first and second half, not allowing any goals here.
Another foul goes on Colorado. Been a pretty physical game. Pass goes over the head and taken away, or a fight for it on the deck, and retained by Boston College. They've done an excellent job of that, just taking care of loose balls as they swing it around, looking for an opportunity. And dropped ball, tried to get it away from Alexandra McGuire. And a stoppage, and looks to be another penalty upcoming for the Eagles. Emma Ash will take it.
Big moment here in this game.
12.6 seconds in the third. Shot score! Emma Ash with a massive blow with 11.1 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 9-5.
That's a tough one for Colorado. 4 goals is a lot. It's not a ton. They can do it in the fourth quarter. But just that lead continuing to extend for Boston College. Little deflated right now are the Buffaloes. You can see at midfield. A couple of teammates not too happy. They've got to find a way to reset, gain their composure, and find a way to make a comeback here in the fourth quarter.
Biggest lead of the day as the Eagles starting to pull away a bit, still with a quarter to play. Game far from over. But Colorado will have some reevaluating to do after this quarter comes to a close. 11.1 on the clock. Face-off flipped up and won by Colorado. Pass soaring over. Not enough time on this one as the buzzer sounds. 15 minutes to play, 45 down. It's 9-5, Boston College.
Yeah, just a clinic there of a quarter from the Eagles. You can see why they're the number 4 team in the country here. Just quite dominant, really, in that entire quarter, start to finish. Time of possession, all Boston College. And that defense, man, that was good. Not to mention some timely saves from Finley Collins. And it shows on the score as they extend their lead to 4. Buffalo's really got to find a way to get one through. You just got to get one goal here, start things off. I trust this Buffalo's defense to, make the timely saves when they need to do it. He's got to find that offensive generation.
So the Buffaloes will recalibrate as the Eagles will reset and try to hold on to this 9-5 lead here at Kittredge Field. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter on Scope Up Sports.
All defensive
That was
tackles
an impressive.
in the
That was an
combine.
impressive performance.
Not only that, just his 40 times his explosion. We saw Justin Myers get up there with a 32.5-inch vertical with long arms for that offensive lineman, knowing his skill, being able to play both sides. See a lot of the depth that CU has.
That vertical was higher than a lot of the receivers.
It was, which is pretty phenomenal.
crazy.
Even like a linebacker, Levante Bentley, he got up higher than him at 300+ pounds. Extremely impressive.
And Coach Prime said today that he doesn't think that there should be a question. Travis and Shedeur should be 1 and 2. He said that those guys have the least amount of risk of any prospect in the draft. A lot of mock drafts have them both going in the top 5, with the most recent one, I don't know if you saw by ESPN, had Shedeur going number 3 to the New York Giants, Travis Hunter going number 4 to the New England Patriots. We did see Shedeur talking with Giants general manager Joe Schoen and their head coach Brian Daboll. We saw him back in Heisman season. He was playing catch with Malik Neighbors out in the streets of Manhattan. So should do it to the Big Apple, do we think?
You know, there's a lot of links there, Trent, and of course we've seen the cleats in the locker room too.
The blue cleats from the Alamo Bowl.
So many, comparisons there. But we also did see a lot of extensive conversations with the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders as well. So definitely a lot of interest from these top NFL teams, and just a lot of personnel and media in attendance who are all interested, all eyes on Colorado.
And a lot of the people flying in for today's showcase was saying how they were excited to come to beautiful Boulder, Colorado. Not so beautiful today. Guess they're going to have to come back for a game next year, maybe get game day, big noon kickoff or whatnot. But definitely was a one-of-a-kind pro day, one-of-a-kind event. Big success for CU and their players, I thought. And we'll see what happens. Draft is just under 3 weeks away now. So,
yes, Trent, most definitely it is a super exciting time to be in Boulder, Colorado. But it is now time for this week's trivia question. With less than 3 weeks until the NFL draft, where Shedeur, Travis Hunter are potential top 5 overall picks, our question this week is, who was the last Buff taken in the top 5? Stay tuned for our answer later in the show.
We are back at Kitcher's Field. One more quarter to go between the Boston College Eagles and the Colorado Buffaloes women's lacrosse club action.
Been a real solid weekend here for the Buffaloes in this Mile High tournament. Had some big wins, a couple of big ones yesterday over Michigan and Notre Dame. Now they had a chance here against Boston College, slipped away for a little bit, but we still have 1 quarter to play here. See if they can make something happen.
Eagles leading by 4, dominant in possession all day. Buffs made the most of their opportunities, had some goals in the first half, though threw up a goose egg in the third quarter. As we're just about ready to get started. 15 more minutes.
Really need to see the first goal of this quarter be a CU one. Doesn't have to be right away, but you got to see the first one be from Colorado, or I'm not sure this comeback will happen.
Colorado 2-0 on the weekend, 2 wins yesterday over Michigan and Notre Dame. Overtime thriller in the latter, as that ball taken by Boston College and then a major collision.
Once again, they have just been putting body to body. Almost looks like a men's game out here, just with the amount of contact that's going on.
Catherine Smith up a little gimpy as she'll head to the sideline.
Yeah, we had that scary moment early in the game where Abby Luce went down with an apparent knee injury. And now it is definitely, his turf is claimed a few.
Yeah, I can see Luce from here. She is now in crutches, it appears, on the sideline. So we'll hope for the best, hope that knee injury isn't anything too long term, though. Obviously, crutches not the greatest sign. Boston College takes control after the penalty. Livingston quickly finds some space to set up in the attacking zone. Eagles with their biggest lead of the day, trying to extend it and put this game out of reach. Whistle and a flag off the ball. And it looks like a penalty opportunity for Boston College. Obviously haven't made one today. But now it's Kate Donovan. Straight on. Sophie O'Brien. Stares her down. Cuts inside and scores. Kate Donovan.
Bit of a crusher there. Just kind of an undisciplined penalty. And Donovan made her pay. Just really a tough one there. 5 goals now, doubling their score, doubling the Colorado score is Boston College. And slipping away a little bit for the Buffaloes against this number 4 team in the country. Still plenty of time. 5 goals is not too big of a gap. So we'll see what they can make here.
Indeed, still 13:50 to go. But it's 10-5 as Colorado just hasn't come out with as much life as they had in that first half. And Boston College has. They've remained intense. They've remained aggressive. And they've continued to pull away.
Yeah, sometimes that spark just burns a little too bright too early. Boston College here. You could say that they're the better team here in this contest against Colorado. And in these games like that, in the second half, sometimes that'll happen where just you can see that difference in talent grow as the game goes on.
And the Eagles again, right there, will set up for another opportunity. Colorado just standing around, continuing their man-to-man approach on defense. We'll see if any adjustments are made this late in the game. Livingston trying to curl inside, throws a shot on, and she scored. Bit of a slow realization on both sides, but Livingston again puts one past O'Brien, and it's 11-5. Falling down along the ground, and O'Brien just wasn't quite ready for it. Definitely just kind of gassed.
Yeah, a bit of a weird shot that happened there along the ground. Didn't seem like it bounced up like you would expect on this turf field. Just kind of stuck to the ground like a worm burner. And a bit of an odd shot to save.
So it's 11-5, though the scoreboard hasn't changed. The referee noticed it, and now it may. Eagles just pulling away from Colorado in this one. Buffs will need to put together a monumental comeback. They reset the clock to 13-11 and then put 11 on the board for BC.
It's quite interesting. You don't very often see clock resets in a club lacrosse game like you would in maybe a professional sporting event.
Well, they did change it to 11, so I wonder if they're like, they maybe just pressed the wrong button.
Put it in the seconds column.
At this point, Colorado hopes for any more seconds in this game as they can.
Yeah, I suppose as more time as they have to amount to comeback, the better.
Eagles win the draw again. So they've been absolutely dominant in those situations. Now a close quarters situation. And McGuire backs off. Now over to Petra Lyon. She tries to find a teammate and does, but a whistle before the shot. It's been a quick whistle. Both these referees have been very quick to whistle plays.
Not sure if we're going to
get
get
here.
Penalty shot or...
Yeah, it looks like Donovan's going to get another crack, or...
No, it's O'Brien with the ball.
Rather not. So violation on Boston College as the Buffaloes take it. We'll have to score about a goal for every 2 minutes. They hope to tie it.
Something you can certainly do in lacrosse. We'll see, though. They really got to find a way to turn that time of possession on its head.
Rose Fisher tabbed with the penalty, and Buffalo's really just running out of gas in this one. Boston College looking for a shot. Here's Donovan. She scores again.
Yeah, they just blew this one open. I mean, Boston College, it's just way too easy for them right now. O'Brien just not making those saves. I mean, you can only call on her so many times. Despite the 13 goals on the board, she has played great today and made timely saves. But here in this fourth quarter, it's just all Boston College, and you can see it on the faces of these Buffaloes. They're kind of done here.
Yeah, it's 12 goals on the board for the Eagles. 12-5, 11:36 to go in this game. As the Buffs haven't found the back of the net all second half. Boston College have found it 6 times.
Yeah, and that was kind of the worry here for the Buffaloes. I'd say their biggest weakness as a team is offensive generation. And when it's not there, it's really not there. And against a team like this, it's got to be there.
Buffaloes corral the draw here. Massive as Fischer surveys and passes it back out. Now they'll go behind. Ava Diamond. Now over to Sophia Pitcher. She leaves it. Tried to find a shot. Just batted into. Looked like they hit someone in the mouth on Boston College as.
Yeah, I think 42 there. Devaney caught a stick to the chin or something.
Here's Colorado. They lose the ball. Fight for it and collected by the Eagles. Colorado's offense just pretty feeble this half. Transition opportunity for the Eagles. Missed pass and stolen.
Nice stick there by Lorenzen.
Megan Lorenzen with the steal. Now CU with the opportunity. One-on-one with the keeper. And Lizzie Porter couldn't find it.
Yeah,
or rather that was Fiona Flaherty.
That's been kind of a microcosm of this half for the Buffaloes. Yes, it was a 2-0. The only person they had to beat was Finley Collins, the netminder.
Yeah, the best opportunity of the half by far, or of the game, honestly. And now a one-on-one chance for Boston College and parried away by O'Brien.
Ah, there you go. We're even now.
Tess Railton had the opportunity, couldn't get it past O'Brien. As the black and gold looking to make a monumental turnaround against the maroon and gold. Nice pass over to Ava Diamond. She's just harassed by upwards of 4 defenders.
3 Eagles on her, and she comes away.
Yeah, she got it away to Flaherty. Now Winiarski gets it over. And the Buffs will pass it around. $8:50 to go. Trailing 12-5. Nice underhanded pass from Diamond, but nothing there. Now she spins around and scores to finally break the drought in the second half for Colorado. It's 12-6.
Yeah, and who else but Ava Diamond? That's who you need to break this scoreless drought here for the Buffaloes. That was a real nice shot. Good turnaround. Bit of an underhand, rip. And just along the ground. It's a really hard one to save if you're Finley Collins. And there you go, Ava Diamond, her second of the day.
The goals this quarter have been hard to find in Diamonds, but she scores to make this game 12-6, 8:38 to go. Diamond, a sophomore She's been arguably the best offensive generator today for Colorado. That's been hard to find, few and far between, but finally able to break the drought.
Who knows? Maybe that's a spark for the Buffaloes. We've seen a couple of bad defensive breakdowns there by Boston College. That sequence earlier where that shot was the Buffalo attacker was all alone in front of the net, but sent it wide.
Yeah, you wonder already. I mean, Boston College, they go up 12-5, maybe take your foot off the gas a little bit.
You can see a lot of that time of possession on the left side of the field. With what we were talking about earlier, they got to flip it on its head if they want to come back. If they can score here, who knows? Maybe we might get a little something.
Buffs in deep again. Bella Lane floats it over to Diamond. She'll try again. Centering pass, just missed.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward shot there.
Went back to Bella Lane, missed to our near side.
When you're taking those shots like well above your head and you just got to kind of tomahawk it onto the ground, it's a little weird. You don't really know where that ball is going to go.
So here's Lane trying to initiate, squirming, backing off, and here's Diamond. Diamond lost it, and she collects her own lost ball, and Buffs will reset from behind.
Diamond wants it. You can see it.
Yeah, she is not stopping. She has been playing all 60 minutes with the same intensity. Here's Lane. Squirts inside. Shot well high. Good defense from Boston College, though Colorado remains with the ball. 7 to go. Diamond. Back around, and she scores again.
Really weird angle shot. I think the Boston College defenders were pleading their case that maybe it went in from the side of the net, as Ava Diamond was even below the goal line when she let it rip.
So 12-7, 6:50 to go. Buffs just chipping away. Still over half, or a little under half of this quarter to go.
Took 3.5 quarters for Ava Diamond to break out, but better late than never. We'll see if she can continue, see if they can really force BC to make a stand here and win this game.
Diamond shining bright here in Boulder, as Boston College briefly had to huddle up, probably had to tell each other, hey, they're not out of it. This game isn't over. As Colorado not going down quietly. Still down 5, though, as Boston College looks to be in control of the draw, and they are. Donovan comes away with it.
Got to get out of the hands quickly here if you're CU. Can't let Boston College hang around in the offensive zone. You can see them hold up right away, taking their sweet time. I'm sure we won't see a shot from them for a little bit.
So Boston College just looking on, trying to find a hole in the defense.
BC in no hurry. It's up
Here's
to CU.
Lyon. Backed off. Now dumps it off. Boston College squirts in for a shot, but it's well off by McGuire. Though they were closer to it, so they'll remain with the ball. Claire Hoffner, she tries, floats one low and stuffed by O'Brien. Loose ball collected, or not collected yet, but it rolls out of bounds for the Buffaloes to.
5:20 to go here. BC ate a lot of clock there with that offensive possession. Good on the Buffs for coming away with that rebound and that ground ball.
Nearing 5 to go is a triple team on Elizabeth Rockenbauer, and she gets it away. Buffalo's just dealing with physicality, soaring down, full head of steam. Here comes Brooke Miller, and she finally lost it as Catherine Nids, first time saying her name today, collected the turnover. Now a chance. Here comes Boston College. And Emma Ash is parried away, just blocked, stifled by Colorado's defense, and they take it back. Back and forth they go, nonstop action as that was Chase Kriebel, who just took a shot to the side by Kate Donovan.
Another minute bled off the clock there as BC had it come the other way.
Buffs will need over a goal a minute to complete the comeback. 4:24 as they trail 12-5. They won 13-12 yesterday against Notre Dame. Would need a much different way of going about it to do the same today. Buffs communicating. Throw it over the top. Kriebel looked for a centering pass and they score! 12-8 now. That time it's Tate Farrell.
There you go. I was about to say it before they scored. You got to score quickly here. Can't spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, and they didn't. With a strike right away.
Yeah, they didn't dilly-dally. They found a quick point-blank pass to Farrell, and the freshman does not miss.
Still 4 minutes on the clock. I've seen crazier things in lacrosse.
Yeah, 3:57, and it's been 3 unanswered goals for Colorado.
You really, more than anything, you really like to see, CU. They're not just playing this thing out. They're gonna try everything they can to pull out this upset and go undefeated on the weekend. Even if they can't come back here, still a very successful weekend for them here in the Mile High tournament.
So draw control between Sydney Schitzman and Alexandra McGuire, eventually collected by the Buffaloes. Here's Delaney Conjoyan, who passed it away to Schitzman, though she lost it. Now back the other way for Boston College. McGuire trying to find somebody, rolled and batted up, collected by BC, and now she's trapped in the corner, but a penalty called there. It's Megan Chase, one of the top Eagles today, able to draw the foul. Buffalo's doing everything they can to win back possession now, though will it be too little too late? Nearing 3 minutes to go. Eagles just playing keep away, trying to waste the time. Buffalo's not pressing too hard yet.
Yeah, this late in the game, I'd like to see them put a little pressure on BC, force them to make a pass, force them to take a shot.
Yeah, Buff's defense just standing around, just letting Boston College go about it as they please.
Yeah, a little weird. Just absolutely no urgency right now from Colorado.
Now the Eagles trying to ramp up the intensity. Same for Colorado as they look to score here. They back off and they'll flip it back. Claire Hoffner backs out, then finds Livingston. Back to Hoffner. 2 minutes nearing now. And Colorado still just hasn't really pressured much at all on this possession. Now they do. As Boston College trying to whip it around, and they do.
Yeah, Colorado's out of time here.
If nothing else, Boston College has burned over a minute and a half off the clock on this possession alone.
I don't think they're even going to shoot this ball.
No, there's no reason to. Now they try to go inside. Now they shoot and they score. So they took your, or at least didn't listen to your advice, Paxton, as Amelia Livingston puts the dagger into this game. It's 13-8 with 1:25 to go.
Yeah, that's going to do it here on Kittredge Field, I think. Minute and a half to go. I don't see 5 goals out of Colorado in that time. But still a real solid effort from the Buffaloes coming out here against the number 4 team.
Yeah, it was 6-5 at the half. Boston College definitely opening things up. 7 goals in the second half and only 3 for the Buffaloes.
We got another game coming up. It'll be a while. We got some other teams that are not CU playing on this field for the Mile High tournament. But then the Buffaloes later on this afternoon.
Yeah, you can join us for that game at 2:30. 2:30. Buffaloes will be back in action. We'll have to reset after a tough loss to the number 4 team in the country, as the Eagles retain possession and will likely just try to run away with this game during the clock. 1:10 left. Just playing keep away.
There's more intensity from this Buffaloes defense now than there was when there were 3 minutes still on the clock.
Yeah, not sure why they ratcheted up now rather than on that last possession, because you're not down by 1 goal. It's not a tie game. It's down by 4 at that point, and now it's likely going to end at 5 with 47.6 seconds remaining. Penalty, a late one, goes on Tate Farrell. So CU will be a man down. As this game draws to a close, 30 seconds away from Boston College stealing, putting the finishing touches on this 13-8 win. Maybe they'll look for one more. They will, as the pass, look to center it, goes wide. 12 on the clock.
Still running here. They're just letting those last 10 seconds bleed off. That'll do it.
3 on the clock. CU had the ball one last time, as that will do it here from Kittredge Field. 13-8, your final score. Boston College, the Eagles take down the Colorado Buffaloes here in Boulder.
Yeah, tale of 2 halves. That first half ending 6-5 with Boston College in the lead. Colorado, they looked very poised. They looked very good. They were coming with everything they had against the top-ranked Boston College Eagles. And, I mean, they looked really solid. It looked like they had a chance to pull off the upset, another one, after beating Michigan yesterday. But that second half just didn't have it in them. Completely ran out of gas there, especially in that fourth quarter, and laying an egg in that third. Just a tough second half, really poor showing from Colorado. But still, I mean, against a team as good as Boston College, it's not all bad. They had some really, good flashes of, offensive greatness, especially from Ava Diamond with 3 goals today. She was probably the best player all around, as well as Sophie O'Brien, the goaltender. And tough one for the Buffaloes, but, they'll be back here later today. They'll have a chance to take a breather, get some food, and finish off this weekend with a win.
So Buffs now 2-1 on the weekend. We'll have one final game here coming up at 2:30. But for now, that is all here from us at Kittredge Field. Boston College takes down Colorado, takes care of business 13-8. And alongside Paxton Haynes, I'm Harrison Simeon. For Kieran Warger on camera, for Nicholas Evans behind the scenes. You heard it here first, and we'll see you at 2:30.